They need help because the average price of a pound of ground beef is now higher than the hourly federal minimum wage. They need help because our tax system rewards wealth instead of workers. They need help because grocery prices are too damn high.
We cannot keep governing from the edge of crisis. That line cuts through the noise and speaks to what many Americans feel every day. Wait a minute before you swipe to the next video. You've got to see this, and don't forget to meet with other Americans in the comment.
Mr. Speaker, it is now nearly 11 o'clock at night. This is nuts. What the hell is wrong with you people? You guys are bringing this farm bill to the floor 3 years late, in the middle of the night. It's prime time in Guam, for God's sake. Republicans spent the whole day fighting with each other. You know what most Americans spent doing today? Working, going to school, taking care of their kids, living their lives, wondering, praying if this institution might give a damn about their hopes and dreams, their concerns and fears. And what Republicans have shown time and time again is that they don't care. If they did, they would not be bringing this farm bill to the floor, because this bill makes hunger worse. It means more kids go to bed without food. More seniors end up in the ER after taking pills on an empty stomach. More parents put groceries back on the shelf. Hunger is a political condition. It's the result of decisions made in this chamber. Republicans decided in their big ugly bill to make hunger worse. And with this farm bill, they are deciding to keep it worse by locking in massive cuts to food assistance. 48 million people in this country cannot afford food. And as a congressman and as an American, I'm ashamed of that. And I'm ashamed that in a nation as rich and powerful as ours, the people in charge of this town don't seem to give a damn. SNAP is food for seniors, it's food for families, food for veterans and Americans with disabilities. That's the majority of who is on SNAP. And when it comes to the rest, most have a job. They work 40, 50, 60 hours a week, and they still can't keep food in the fridge. People don't want to be on SNAP. We're talking about $6 a day, for God's sake. And they need help because we have a broken economic system. They need help because the average price of a pound of ground beef is now higher than the hourly federal minimum wage. They need help because our tax system rewards wealth instead of workers. They need help because grocery prices are too damn high, and Trump's war and his tariffs are making them worse. And instead of helping everyday people, Republicans take away their food and use it to give billionaires another tax break. It is outrageous, it is immoral, and it is wrong. This farm bill should address hunger. It does not. It should strengthen our food system from the farm field to the kitchen table. It fails that test miserably. And by the way, Republicans are running this place in a way that is an embarrassment, a disgrace to the institution and the people we represent. You know, it's hard to keep track of all the shady side deals this speaker is making and breaking on the floor today. Quite frankly, I wouldn't trust this Republican leadership to tell me the correct time. But based on what I've heard, we will be coming back to Rules Committee on this bill after the district work period. And I want to put you all on notice. I intend to offer, among other amendments, Representative Luna's proposal to protect Proposition 12, which was unfortunately left out of the rule that we're debating today. The American people are watching. They are sick and tired of what this Republican majority is doing. How dare you bring a bill to the floor that makes hunger worse in this country? How dare you bring a bill to the floor that doesn't help regular farmers? How dare you bring a bill to the floor that is filled with all these giveaways to special
Gentlemen,
interests?
will suspend.
Vote no.
Members are reminded to direct their remarks to the chair.
What stands out most in this exchange isn't just the policy disagreement, but the exhaustion behind it. For millions of Americans, politics has begun to feel like a never-ending cycle of brinkmanship, deadlines, shut-down threats, and dramatic standoffs that seem far removed from real life. Families worrying about grocery bills or rent aren't interested in partisan victories. They want stability, predictability, and a government that works without constant crisis. That disconnect between the urgency of everyday life and the theatrics of Washington is where frustration quietly builds. At its core, the debate reflects a deeper issue: priorities. While lawmakers argue over strategy and messaging, ordinary people are asking simpler questions. Will my job be secure? Can I afford health care? Will my children have better opportunities? These are not ideological concerns, they are human ones. When political conversations drift too far into abstract battles, they risk losing sight of the very people they are meant to serve. The challenge is not just solving problems, but remembering who those solutions are for. Trust in institutions doesn't erode overnight. It fades slowly when people feel unheard or secondary to political maneuvering. Rebuilding that trust requires more than compromise. It requires empathy and a genuine shift toward people-first thinking. There's also an emotional undercurrent that can't be ignored. Americans are not just observers of governance, they are participants in its consequences. Each delay, each stalemate, carries a real cost: stress, uncertainty, and a growing sense that the system isn't designed with them in mind. Ultimately, what this moment calls for is less performance and more purpose. Beyond party lines and political calculations lies a shared responsibility to ensure that governance improves lives in tangible ways. The average American isn't asking for perfection, they're asking for effort, sincerity, and results that make a difference. If there's a path forward, it begins by stepping back from the spectacle and returning focus to the everyday realities that unite far more than they divide.